surf photography started before I picked up a camera. It started as surfing and being in the water as a kid.
I have this elusive vision that I've always wanted to capture and share with people. And it's going to show what I've probably always failed to explain with words. It's not going to be easy, but I'm just hoping that with the right team and the right timing, the shot I'm chasing can be caught.
Leroy's work's made a big splash across the industry, both in terms of his reputation as being the guy that's riding some of the craziest waves around behind the surfers. He's won a bunch of awards, he's got magazine covers, he's ticked all those boxes, that's for sure. And I doubt there'd be a surf photographer in the world that hasn't looked at what he's doing and sort of thought, maybe I need to give it a bit more of a crack. He's definitely putting himself on the line as much as anyone out there. Most photographers are off to the side somewhere and the surfers are in the firing line, and Leroy's putting himself behind the action in arguably a more critical position than any of the surfers are. So I mean, for him to get a good shot, he has to wipe out, he has to suffer. There's no two ways about it. If he's not right there, his shot's just not going to be that good, it's that simple.
Well, to me, he still is ordinary Leroy. I mean, I know he's a world-class photographer, but yeah, he's still Leroy to us, and good on him for getting that far.
My mum grew up surfing around here, so I think she understands deep down why I want to do it. Maybe not on the same scale, but she can have an understanding and a perspective of that. Well, I'll let you know if I'm going to shoot.
Okay. See you, mate.
See ya.
Have a good day. Love you.
Love you too.
Some days Leroy panics me with heading out into the big swell, and especially when he's on some sharp reefs and that, I do worry about him. But I always say to him, never feel afraid to say, no, I don't want to go out today, or when I get there, don't be afraid to just say, no guys, it's too big, or I don't like the conditions, and just to pull out if you need to. And I've always taught the boys to trust their instincts, that that feeling of fear is what keeps you safe and alive.
If we all get in safe and we have an experience, then that's definitely a good thing that you can be satisfied with. Whip. You know Chris Bryan's Phantom camera, the slow-mo one?
Yeah.
He's thinking that it could be cool to try and do some follow cam stuff with it.
That would be amazing. Has anyone ever done it in the Phantom?
No, it's never been done like that before. Definitely not. So, now I'm going to be strapped up and have the helmet on. We're going to have to feel it and hold it. He said it's got two handles, so it should be easier than holding it one-handed, not as heavy on the arm, but yeah, it's going to be trial and error.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I gotta go to school, but I'll talk to them and get the details and I'll call you back. I like this shot because you can see down the coast a bit too.
Yeah.
It'd be nearly cool.
That was some of the ones that I'll get.
Yeah, to get like one empty or something from there at least. Feels pretty good actually, like surprisingly comfortable and manageable. If this was like a pistol grip, it wouldn't be working,
Yeah, it'd be too.
But the two side handles, I think it works. Hey.
You slept last night?
Yeah, pretty good. Tried to get to bed early. Got too excited this morning and got down here 20 minutes before everyone else.
Nearly too big for it, I'm thinking. Like,
You think probably just hang tight though and just wait till the tide comes in?
yeah, I don't know.
Or you can charge off?
We could go down the coast a bit.
It's looking bigger than anything we've ever had here before for the double toe, I think. There's definitely some big sets wrapping around the corner, so fingers crossed it's holding and we can get a few big ones. The double toe is a strange thing. It's basically using a jet ski and you have a driver, you have a surfer that rides the wave in front of me that holds halfway up a tow rope, and then you have me on the end. So the jet ski propels your surfboard out of the water and gives you momentum on top of the surface, so you're skimming along and you don't have to paddle and stand up at the last second, you're already moving, which lets you get into steeper, heavier, thicker waves. Tricky trying to think about taking the photo and surfing at the same time, because you've got to be paying so much attention to the surfer in the front, your own surfing, how you're composing the shot, where the camera's held, and then it sort of does take practice for the guy surfing behind and the guy in front. The Phantom camera is quite long and leans backwards and forwards with the weight distribution, so it is quite tricky to make sure that I've got it actually pointed up or down to the degree I need. It's a lot of pressure when you're carrying something that's worth like over $100,000. It might be a house in some places, it could be a sports car, but it's something you're carrying in your hands in one of the most dangerous and unpredictable environments in the world. I thought everything was going good. I could see the barrel peeling over from behind, kind of overtaking us, and then all of a sudden I rode a little too low and the lip hit me, knocked the camera from my hands, knocked the board from under my feet, and I popped up, not to scathe myself, but then looking across and seeing the camera had a huge smash through the glass element at the front, which the lens sees through. So I was then instantly concerned that we might have lost everything from the whole session. I've lost a fin and we've got a pretty defined straight crack along the edge of it. Had a fair bit of water in there when we popped up, so it's not looking good for the camera.
What happened when you got flipped?
Yeah, I must have come back around and the front of the camera's connected with the fin straight away and taken the foot back out.
Yeah, it must have hit pretty hard because it fully knocked his back fin out, or his side fin.
Yeah, it's
completely snapped it out, and then you see there, it's like it's put a big crack in the port, and the camera is just toasted. First shot.
3.7 gig.
Oh, this is snapshot.
Oh.
Uh-oh. It's an accidental trigger. Uh-oh.
Oh, I know. Hope that means it still recorded the first one.
What? Here we go, though.
This is something.
Who's on it? Brass. Is this the first one?
Yeah, well, I didn't hit the button on any we pulled off. Port's clear and everything.
Yeah. Oh, come on, lift it up.
No, sorry.
Look at the reef. Look at the reef. This is the live one. Look, there's the boys.
Yeah, you nearly overtook me on this.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Pretty gnarly. Oh. Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, we made this one, huh? It started as a personal challenge, and I'm still grateful that other people are enjoying it and getting involved. I had to step up and move on from there to a bigger scale, such as Teahupo'o in Tahiti. Teahupo'o is an incredible wave. It breaks on long period swells that come up from the Antarctic Ocean. The wave itself isn't the biggest of big wave surfing locations, but in terms of perfection, it's the Everest of intensity and challenge.
Yeah, good.
Wipeout's really intense, it's really fierce, you can barely even comprehend or think about what's going on. It's so wild, your body's going in every direction and you're just hoping that you're not going to hit the sharp reef. If you do, you can feel it slice and then you don't realise how bad it is until you pop up. But it really drags you over the length of the coral reef, which was something I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, all good.
They spoke to me a little bit about it, but I knew kind of you just had to throw yourself in the moment, and it was definitely more Leroy's work than mine. I felt like all I had to do was kind of surf the wave to the best of my ability.
For a while after the first couple of waves and sort of reflected on what we thought we had, and there was still something left to be fulfilled at the end of the day, and Michelle Perez was keen to get one, so we took our time and decided to set all the equipment up properly and wait for the right one, which once we got out there it happened to come through at perfect timing with the sun going down and golden light on the mountains, which was better than we could have scripted. Couldn't see the camera anywhere. I had no strap holding it to me just in case it would choke me around the neck or something like that, so there was a bit of a panic of where it was going to end up, and at the same time as thinking about self-preservation and where the sharp reef was and picking up Michelle and the boards and whatnot, there was also a sense of urgency to get the camera.
Look for the camera! Yeah, camera's out there. Yeah, I was gonna hang on the camera somewhere out here, I think. Where'd the camera go? Yeah, I'm sweet. I don't know. I think, did someone say they have it? Or do you want to have a look in there, see if you can see it? for the camera. They got it? Oh, you! Ooh, sick one.
And then the boat, because the boats. I've been making magazines for a little while, since the mid-90s. Done a few hundred of them. The cover discussion, always a big point of the month. Obviously, the photo picks itself right here. And it was basically just the case of putting a whole magazine back in around that cover, because the cover kind of chose itself. It's a very unique shot. The magazine cover, since time immemorial, has kind of carried a lot of weight, a lot of cultural currency. It's a big deal to end up on it, a big deal for a surfer, big deal for a photographer, big deal kind of full stop.
In my short career, I've seen a big transition between the way that most people intake their surf content and surf media, and being able to have something tangible in your hand like a surf magazine and flip through it and feel like you're interacting with it more so than if you're just flicking through, like coloured pixels on your phone. I feel like it doesn't have the same effect, and there's so much content on your phone that you just feel like everything's sort of blurring into one. Whereas when you're looking at a magazine, it's designed intentionally, so you're like looking at the feature image and the focus of it. And yeah, it's interesting to see that contrast.
Surfing's a really hard thing to put into words. Most people, myself included, are terrible at it. It is a really visual medium. It needs to be seen. It's a very hard thing to explain, and photos explain it very well. Leroy ended up in our list of 50 most interesting surfers in the world. We dug into the backstory and realised, wow, okay, he's young and kind of super ambitious and looking at what's next. I do remember seeing those photos for the first time, cracked open the folder and looked at them, and then as we kind of did when we saw the first batch from the South Coast, kind of had to sit there for a second. Some of these you look at them and then you start tilting your head and you're just going, hang on, is he, where's he, how's he done this? And shot to shot and kind of sequence to sequence, they kind of look different. What do you think we've done? Well, they say in magazines that the best photo wins. That's generally the principle, and this is the best photo. Righto, mate, here we go. Which one do you reckon?
No idea.
You don't know which shot it is either, though, do
No.
you? Which one do you think it is?
Thinking one of the Michelle ones?
You know we tried them all.
Yeah.
No, yeah, dude.
Oh, sick. Thank you.
Well done, man.
Yeah, I didn't think we were going to go that last wave with Michelle in the afternoon. It was getting late, and we were waiting for that one, and we could see one coming super duper west out of the channel, and Michelle just knows the spot so well, and called us into that one. So I just thought, if he's going to go, I'm going to go. He let go and dropped in, and I let go and dropped in later. And then when we bottom turned up, the lip was already coming over, and it was just this bright sort of fluorescent green, like filled into a room, which was incredible. And I was just riding along behind Michelle, trying to balance with one arm behind me, and then he threw his arms in the air, and it was a spectacular moment.
With Michelle's wave, I think I was sitting on my board in the lineup, just being in that little arena and watching that unfold was pretty amazing. I know kind of when he let go of the rope, the wave didn't look ideal, but the images that they captured were really special.
That's the one you thought it was going to be?
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's the hero shot.
It's a pretty tremendous shot, and we are banking that it's probably going to sell a few copies.
Stoked with it. Not much more else to say.
Well done, Leroy.
You're used to seeing like the photo on the whole, take up the whole cover of it, but it's cool to see the whole landscape shot.
Craig shot was in the mix. Craig, what we were trying to do with the Craig shot even?
It's been interesting since a few of the shots have come out, how it's turned from like me approaching the surfers to them approaching me, and I've had a few people that I'm pretty interested to have a go at it with.
It's pretty special to see Leroy and what he's done in the last couple of years, and where he's sort of taken his photography, and to get the opportunity to work with guys like him. And Tahiti was a blast.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks heaps for that, Sean.
I think we got the shot that we're after with this chasing the shot journey, so it's been cool to see how much preparation went into it and all the planning and theory and everything. It was so good to be there in the moment at Teahupo'o and just feel like we'd accomplished it. At the end of the day, after ticking off those tangible sort of goals, like the things you put on your resume, it's cool to just sit back and think about why you really got into it in the first place. When I think about it now, it's more just for the act of doing it itself, more than the end result of getting the photo. The whole journey on the way is what compels me to do it.